YouTube babies. So the Luca trade we talked about last week, I just wanted to talk about it again, beat this dead horse some because I saw a fun little conspiracy theory on Instagram.
Okay.
So when Mark Cuban sold his share, like his majority share to the so it's like the head of the family is this lady. I think her son might be heading stuff up, but basically he sold it to them. They are a big gambling group. And that was a big part of like them wanting to buy it is they were gonna basically be like, hey, they put a lot of money into Texas to pass this like sports betting law, and they're like, we're gonna build you guys a new stadium. Everyone's like, yeah, like with casinos inside. Everyone's like, yeah, but they didn't pass, so then they can't. So she's like, well, fuck it, I'll just move this fucking team to Las Vegas. Everyone's like, boo, and Adam Silver's like, you can't fucking do that. This team's too beloved, idiot. Like, what are you thinking? She's like, okay, I'll just make this team not beloved. We're gonna get rid of our best player. And I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that. She told the Nico guy just to do the trade,
Yeah.
Like it makes sense to me, but I also only watched one single video on it, so what do I know?
And also like I really thought the fans were gonna kill that guy. Like
Hmm.
legitimately have him murdered. So it's like,
Right.
is that worth it? I
I mean,
don't know.
depends how much money he's getting paid.
Right?
He's gonna sign the Supermax with him soon.
I think the craziest part is like J Kid clearly had no idea.
No one
The
did,
press
dude.
conference, he's
Yeah.
just like
And in all fairness, that's how he looks the majority of the time
yeah,
when
but
he's
this
coaching
was
too.
this was worse than that.
Yeah.
So, do you think he's a better coach on the Mavs than he was in Milwaukee, or does it matter?
I think I really think the players work better with his strength. I think he was like good for early Giannis in Milwaukee, but he's just not good enough to win a championship. He's like I would put him at the same tier as JB Bickerstaff, where it's like, yeah, if you got a young team that needs to kind of like get better, yeah, but he's not gonna get you over that hump. I mean, the only thing that got them over the hump was
Except he
Luca.
did once.
Wait, kid?
Didn't he?
Never won. He's won a championship as a player, never as a coach.
Oh, okay. My bad.
He good. So yeah, he's not gonna get you there. I mean, Luca could only do so much, and same with Giannis.
Right.
Especially like when he was coaching Giannis, Giannis didn't have as good of a shot as he does now, too. So that hurts a lot, because it was really easy to plan against, a lot easier to plan against them than it is now.
Yeah. No, for sure. I got it confused with this last year in the finals. But then I was like, oh yeah, the Celtics won that. Never
Yeah.
mind. Which is a shame. I feel like everybody was rooting for the Mavericks there.
I was rooting for neither of them. I was like, I don't like either of these teams.
Oh, that's fair. I'd rather Luca win one though than Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
Something
fair
just
enough.
bugs me about that guy. Don't know what it is. I just don't like him.
It's because he talks bad about your shop because he's also a St. Louis boy. He's like, fancy shop only.
Dude, that would be insane if that came out.
It's like comic headquarters, more like fucking losers. Fancy shop, man.
Like, how much did they pay you? How much?
Dude, I go there every week just to play board games, so fuck off.
All right. Anyway.
So I also went and saw the new Captain America movie.
Oh,
If you
you
want to talk,
did?
yeah, if you want to talk about that on the regular pod or on the YouTube, we can do whichever.
Let's do the regular one since
All right.
we the comics will be quick.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get us started then. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the vampire Wonder Woman to my Harper Row. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's up with you? I'm glad you finally
Nothing.
we're talking about my goat, Harper Row.
It's very relevant in this week's comics.
Ooh,
So anyway, no comments today. Also, forgot we were doing trivia. Let me grab the book.
okay. Man, y'all are slacking on the comments, I swear.
For real. What the hell is Nick doing? He's all
Spending time with his
reliable.
son.
Oh,
How dare he?
stop it.
Yeah, he's almost 16, he's almost 17 now. Come on. Cut the umbilical cord, bro.
For real. Give him some trauma like the rest of us. Okay, let's see here. How about some X-Men?
Ooh, this will be very hit and miss because there's a lot of blind spots for me in X-Men.
That's all right. Old Jake will have Google ready
Dude,
since I don't know the answers.
I just had a really stupid idea for a cosplay for you.
Okay.
It's gonna be a theme of just you combined with a Spider-Man villain. We'll call it the Jekyll.
Wow. It'd just be me in like a furry costume, right?
It's just well, no, since it's not, you're not gonna be green because, of course, jackals are green. You're just gonna be naked with the ears and claws.
Okay, well, that's not near as bad as I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah. But you have to tuck because, don't want to be lewd.
True. I can do that.
So, guys, remember, go to C2E2 this year if you want to see the appearance of the Jekyll.
Something tells me that C2E2 is not going to let me in.
I don't know, man. They might. They're like, ah, he's tucked. It's fine.
Okay, first question. Uh, Boy, I thought that this answer would have just popped up quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
If I had a dollar for every time I was hoping something would pop up quicker, am I right? Am I right, fellas?
Anyway, what did Mystique's brotherhood become when they went to work for the government?
I'm gonna need some options here because I don't know.
We've got X Factor, Freedom Force, Liberty Legion, Shield Super Agents.
Shield Super
Does that
Agents.
help?
Not at all, because I don't think it's X Factor, so it'd be Shield Super Agents.
No, it's actually Freedom Force.
Oh man, it's not the Freedom Force I remember. That was that really silly game that was on the computer.
This one I think will know.
Okay.
Who drew the first Wolverine comic series?
Oh, first, can you give me the names? Because I think I know, but I'm gonna need the names.
John Buscema, John Byrne, Dave Cockrum, Frank Miller.
It's not Frank Miller, is it?
It is Frank Miller.
Oh, okay.
He drew, Claremont wrote it.
Okay. That one sells pretty good, right? Because I remember like early on in your shop, you got that for pretty cheap, and then it
Yeah,
didn't last long.
yeah. Those issues are like 40 plus a book if they're in
Yeah.
like middle grade condition.
Iconic ass covers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big Frank Miller fan, but he does a good job with those.
I think that was kind of him in his prime,
Yeah.
and they were very good. Plus, it's that classic Wolverine doing the come here,
Yeah.
and that's just so good.
I really think too, it's like being a cover artist is a lot easier than the interiors. I've never seen the interiors for those books, so I can't really speak to them, but I have a feeling like, you know, him be able to do the covers and put a lot more work into it than the interiors probably helped.
Yeah, I think so too. Although I remember flipping through the trade once, and obviously those issues to make sure they were complete, but it was before his style kind of tanked a little bit,
Oh,
so
I
it
gotcha.
was it was good.
Yeah.
Okay, where is Madripoor located?
It's Hong Kong, right?
That's not an option.
Oh,
We've got off the west coast of Africa, the South Pacific, Southeast Asia, or the Caribbean.
Southeast Asia then.
Yes.
All right. So I mean Hong Kong, Southeast Asia. So I was close with my old gut.
No, you totally were. Okay. Who is, and I wasn't Googling this one, I'm Googling the next one. Who is Magic's brother?
Old Colossus.
It is indeed.
You're like, well, actually, her demon brother is the one we want to know, and that's Beelzebub. Like, oh, okay.
Well, what's kind of fucked up is one of the options is Belasco, who's one of her torturers in Limbo.
Oh, damn. Chris Claremont wrote it too, so there's a chance it is it.
Ugh, yeah. He definitely wrote some comics back then.
Like I love him so much, and he's such a good, talented writer. But boy, is he horny.
Yeah.
And
For
his,
young teenage
yep,
girls.
yep.
Dude, I reread that four-issue Magic series not that long ago, and I'm sorry if I've already told you this recently. It's bad. It's like,
Really,
I think it's really bad. The dialogue just does not hold up at all.
that's too bad.
Yeah.
I know someone was trying to say, which it's like with it being Claremont writing it, I wouldn't be surprised. But someone was trying to say that it was heavily implied she was raped a lot in that thing and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if this is just a Twitter trying to put things there that aren't really there or what, but I'm like,
I didn't get that.
yeah. It's like
I
magic
mean,
because it was like, here's my thread of magic being a sexual assault survivor, and then they did the whole thing to get you to look at all their different tweets, you know?
right. Yeah, I mean, are the demons mean and demanding? Yeah, but it's like I feel like it's only that way if you make it that way, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, next one. Which state did Cannonball come from?
Can I get some choices? Because I have a gut feeling on this one too, but I'll see if it's even
Well,
a
just say it.
option. Wyoming.
No.
Okay.
We've got Kentucky, Arkansas, West Virginia, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Nope. It's
West Virginia.
Kentucky.
Damn it. That was my last guess. Because I was really thinking when they did the Avengers Initiative thing where they had all of the different people on their own books, I really for some reason thought he was Wyoming. So that's why I said, that's why my gut was saying Wyoming and it failed me.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think for the most part, those made sense, but some of them were just totally
Yeah, because
random
like
because it was
Hercules was
like,
just randomly on one.
yeah, same with like Valkyrie and Black Knight. It's like
Yeah.
Black Knight, dutiful Delaware protector. It's like,
He's
okay.
It's like, yeah, I used to be from England, but I was like, don't care much for Boris, and I'm gonna move to the States.
Okay. What does Jubilee call her energy powers?
Um, I don't know. What can I get some hints and I'll guess? Because I'm doing so good at that. Let's go back to Daredevil.
We've got power bursts, explosives, fireworks, sparklers.
I'm gonna go fireworks.
Correct.
Nice.
What is Nathan Summers' middle name?
I got a silly answer that might be right.
Say it.
Is it Logan?
No.
Oh man, it'd be really. Okay, here's another one. Deadpool.
So we've got Christopher, Charles, Scott, Alexander.
Christopher?
I'll say yes because Wikipedia says that his name is Nathan Christopher Charles Summers. So clearly, continuity changed between
Yeah.
this book and now. But anyway. Okay, one more, and I gotta Google this one. Where did
No.
the Morlocks get their name?
Oh shoot, no fucking clue.
A novel by Jules Verne, a short story by H.P. Lovecraft, a novel by Robert Heinlein, or a novel by H.G. Wells.
So I kind of got it like narrowed down in my head, and I could be wrong about both of these. It either being one of the H.P. Lovecraft or the H.G. Wells. I'm leaning towards just H.G. Wells.
That is correct.
Okay,
Found in his book, The Time Machine.
that's what I thought.
So
Never read it, but I've seen the movie, and it was dog shit.
I have not read it either. The th- I kind of hate this about myself, along with a lot of things. But I've tried to read some classics in the last year. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein,
Yeah,
Dracula, some other stuff. It's just tough for me. I
yeah,
just
I
I
get that.
can't it just doesn't capture me. And I don't know if I'm just to the point where legitimately if it's not fantasy, I can't fucking read it or what. But
Yeah,
I tried like there's several books on that shelf that the like people I really like and respect on TikTok recommended. And some of my favorite books of all time were recommended by these people. So I ordered some of them and I'd read like 20 pages. I'm like, nah, I'm not ready for this yet. Pull up another one, same thing.
yeah,
I grab a random fantasy book. I'm like, I'm hooked.
yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't know that I could ever sit down and read The Time Machine.
So like I think I'm just gonna say this. When I was in middle school, I got like one of these books where it's like this isn't what it is, but this is what it kind of is. It's like Huckleberry Finn for, idiots. And I read that and I was like, this is really good. I fucking like this a lot. Then I tried to read Tom Sawyer and I'm like, but I had the regular copy for like normal people and I'm like, I hate this. This is so boring. So maybe you just need to try to get the classics for dummies and then that'll make it
Yeah.
like, more you're like, oh yeah, I actually do enjoy this.
So along the same lines, and real quick, is the microphone picking up my cat
No,
playing with shit? Okay, good,
no, I'm
because
not hearing
boy,
anything.
it's annoying. Um, there are mangas that are like classic literature told in manga form. There's Macbeth, Othello, a couple others,
That's awesome.
Hamlet, I think. And I'm like, you know what? I know that sounds ridiculous, but somebody is going to love that and be
Hmm.
like, oh, I get it now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%, man. Yeah,
So,
like that's like that I saw a thing and it's like it kind of makes me go like, well, this is why you shouldn't trust Rotten Tomatoes, but there's a new movie, I think it's Hamlet, but it's all done at Grand Theft Auto 5. And it's like got an 88 on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
that's crazy.
I'm just like, you can't, that's why you can't trust Rotten Tomatoes, guys.
Yeah.
Like, this proves it.
Yeah. Unless the audience score was like 100%, then
Yeah.
I'd be like, I guess I gotta watch this.
Yeah. It's like maybe, but even then, I'm like, the people watching this are probably people I wouldn't trust their opinions on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, really quick, did you see the hockey game stuff? Because that was hilarious.
Yeah,
So funny.
I saw a funny meme that was like, and I'm sure you saw it too, but it's like NBA player, my knee hurts. I'm gonna sit out the rest of the game. And then hockey player, I'm going to die for my country for this Four Nations thing, which is just so funny.
Wait, like there was I saw a video just speaking of like. hockey players just being built different. There's this one
Hmm.
dude, I'll send it to you because you'll get a kick out of it too, because hockey player interviews are just the best anyway. But this guy, he was like telling him the story about when he knew he had to quit. He was like, yeah, so I was out playing, and then I don't remember the dude's name, but it's like, yes, so and so. He's like, you want to go? I'm like, not really. He's like, well, we're going. And so we both just dropped the gloves and we start, and he hit me so hard, and I landed on the ice. You know, I had to be carried away. I found out like they touched my face and my orbital bone was just shattered, and he's like,
Uh,
but you know, the first guy to call me right after it happened, it was so and so. He's like, oh, hey, you're a tough son of a bitch, and I'm like, not as tough as you apparently. And then like the first comment on the post is that guy going, love you, brother. He's like, love you too, man. I'm like, hockey players.
yeah, yeah.
But I
No other
love,
sport.
yeah, dude, I love the tweets going out now by Canadian people that like after they lost and stuff, they're like, we weren't booing you Americans. We were booing your president that wasn't there. We don't care that we lost. It's like, I don't believe you.
So like I obviously we don't get political on this show, but
Yeah.
one funny thing was thank you. It was like Canadians boo like their future,
You're right.
national anthem or something like
Yeah.
that. And I'm just like, holy shit. But dude, those three fights in the first 10
Nine
seconds,
seconds.
yeah,
Yeah.
just crazy.
It's like
But
it's
tell me
got me
that that's,
shopping for the jersey for those guys because I'm like, you guys are awesome.
yeah. And tell me that that's not a million times better than the All-Star game
Yeah.
where they don't give a fuck. You know what I
A
mean? It's
hundred
like, no,
percent. Yeah.
but four nations every year. Let's do it.
Yep. Yep. And hey, with Trump in office, it's gonna make it very entertaining the whole time because he's gonna be
Hmm.
saying shit nonstop because he does no filter
Yep.
unless they all just become our extra states by then. So it'll be like, shit, we can't have four nations anymore because we're all one nation.
But yeah, they'll have to do four states.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the news.
Oh, really quick before the news, want me to talk about Captain America?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
All
Sorry.
right. So I saw the new Captain America movie. It's very forgettable. It also like so the person in front of me, she was with her boyfriend. I'm assuming like her boyfriend and then her boyfriend's boyfriend or her boyfriend's best friend. You know, it was very
I
much,
get it.
yeah, you and me have been there. Um, and so she was like half asleep, and then she'd get up and like kind of look at her phone and like never got mad about it. I was like, how much time we got left? Because that because I was just like, whatever, this isn't very good. And like there was a scene that I found out later on was reshot, but I'm like, oh, it explains why Anthony Mackie didn't even try to make it look good. Because it's like Giancarlo Esposito, his scenes were all reshoots. And there's a scene where like Anthony Mackie's driving in the truck, Giancarlo gets out of the car with his guns and he starts shooting at him, and like this is Anthony Mackie's move. And like bullets are the like I'm like, what? Like you can't even like bend down lower. He's like, no, the seatbelt's on. This would be bad. And then like yeah, and then we get the leader who you've seen the pictures by now, I'm assuming, of the leader. So
Nope.
spoiler alert, leader's in it. And we had like promotional stuff, toy stuff that looks comic accurate. What we got was like broccoli testicles because they Marvel was like, oh no, this comic accurate one looks too silly. So they reshot all of the leader's scenes and he gets this like they get this terrible redesign and that's what they go with.
Ew.
Yeah, it's bad. And then there's this like early part with Giancarlo Esposito's character where Falcon shows up at the place to stop, to get the adamantium, and he like shows up and he's fighting this big guy, and the dude and like he's got his wings still, and Giancarlo's escaping, and he's like, "We gotta get him," but then he's like, "Well, I'll fight this guy with my fists." It's like you could just use your goddamn wings, hit him once, and then go get the guy. But he's like, "Nah, it's cool." Like it was really stupid. And it's just not very good. But I haven't really enjoyed a Marvel movie for a while. Like Spider-Man I like. I'm not gonna say it's a good movie, but I liked it for the nostalgia. Like it's 100% nostalgia bait. And then Doctor Strange was fun. This what I didn't have really fun with it. I was more bored. Um,
How
Red
was
Hulk. Okay, Red Hulk was like I'm really torn because it's like it seemed like they didn't know what to do with Harrison Ford. And then when they finally did the Red Hulk stuff, it was just like they went out of their way to like talk about how um Falcon has no super soldier serum, which like makes no sense because one part in the movie he ripped a giant, like not giant but a cinder block out of the wall and smashed a dude on the head with it, like it was nothing. And it's like I remember me whenever I couldn't keep up with Captain America, or I got beat by Ant-Man. Remember that?
Mhm.
Now I'm awesome. It's like, when did this happen? But because he hasn't gotten bigger.
Creatine, man.
Yeah, oh, there we go. It's like he's like, I'm not gonna take that super soldier serum, just Trin. But so yeah, like it's he would do these awesome things, and out of nowhere he's like, oh man, I'm just a regular boy. Oh, this hurts. Like that type of shit. And I'm like, this is so stupid. And so yeah, like when the Red Hulk fight happens, you're like, how? How is he able to do anything to him? Because and then like also when he first changes into the Red Hulk, everyone sees, so they know it's President Ross. And then his Secret Service agent's like, well, we know this is a Hulk. Hulks get madder, when you shoot them. Okay, let's shoot him, the president. And so yeah, then all hell broke loose. He was destroying stuff, and that's another thing that really just annoyed me though, because it's like as someone who was forced to read all of Jeff Loeb's terrible fucking writing, I was like, well,
Forced.
yeah, because I had a subscription at the time to Hulk,
Uh,
so it was coming in. I'm gonna have to read it, and I was reading all of that. This Red Hulk is not the same Red Hulk. First off, no Loeb force. Um, there was barely like any, like they kind of wanted to do the like where his he would generate heat. They kind of wanted to do that, and we kind of saw it a little bit. But then at the same time, they're like, this is too hard. We're not doing that. And like they just barely touched on it. And then like he was just Hulk, but red. He had no personality really, all that shit. No, it's just like, no, he's just Hulk. And also Harrison Ford's hair changed to black when he transformed, which I'm like, well, his mustache went away in the comics, so at least we got something that does, something to add to the not making sense with the Red Hulk.
how was Liv Tyler?
She's barely in it. Like literally right at the end, she talks to Harrison Ford and she's like, I liked you more in Indiana Jones and Star Wars. He's like, don't you mention Star Wars.
Turns into Hulk again.
Yeah. I did see a tweet that was pretty funny where it's like the scene where Harrison Ford turns into the Hulk, no CGI, just had a bunch of kids ask him Star Wars questions. So, yeah, I mean Harrison Ford, he does fine with what he's given. Same with Anthony Mackie, honestly, except for some of the reshoots where it's clear as hell he's just like, let's finish. Like this is
Look,
the 10,000th reshoot. I am so tired. Let me home to my family. And then
yeah,
Marvel's like, no, where are your family?
I'll give this to Anthony Mackie. He wants it,
Yeah,
right? He
yeah.
wants it so bad. He tries. It's just, it's just bad writing.
Yep, 100%. I saw a post where someone was like, who could be the new leader of the Avengers? Because like that was a point of this movie is like Ross is like, we need to bring back the Avengers. And it's like, well, yeah, Anthony Mackie's Captain America should be the leader. Like the only reason why you could say no is if he hasn't had like 6 years at this point as Captain America. But it's been about 6 years as Captain America. He has every right to be the leader.
Yeah, for sure. He's a military mind. It
Yeah.
would make sense.
Yep. It's
So
like
out of 10.
so I think so I'll check my letterbox because I went to letterbox right after I saw the movie. I think I gave it out Letterbox is out of 5, so I'll just multiply it by 2. because it wasn't like I said. I was wanting it. I was just kind of counting down the minutes for it to be over. It's really forgettable too, which I think is kind of worse than when a movie's just really bad. Like you and me are never gonna forget that scene in Craven when the dude just for no reason like makes a weird noise. Like we're
Yeah.
never gonna forget that. This movie, I'm gonna forget almost all of it. So I gave it a 1.5 out of 5 stars. So that would be three.
Okay. Pretty rough.
Yeah,
Pretty rough.
it's so if you guys are like sitting there going, I want to see something with Harrison Ford I've not seen before. Watch Shrinking, not Captain America.
I did see that it had a pretty good opening weekend,
Yeah,
so
it did. And I'm like, this is, mediocre Marvel stuff, so I get it. And also maybe it's just like all of the Incredible Hulk fans and the Eternal fans are like, finally, our sequel. Because that's what this is. It doesn't feel like a Captain America sequel at all. It just feels like, yeah, Incredible Hulk. We need more. We need to tie up those loose ends from 20 years ago and the Eternals, the movie that everyone hated.
I didn't hate it. I was just like, well, I watched it.
Yeah.
I saw um one of the article. This was a real article. They were like, Captain America grosses 100 million opening weekend, the third highest Captain America movie. And I'm like, brother, there's only been three of them, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just so funny to me, the wording. Um, and then fuck, where else was I going with that? Oh, like it was about, is it Civil War or is it Winter Soldier? No, it's Civil War, obviously, where Bucky and Cap fight Iron Man. Like
Yeah.
there's that scene, right? And somebody was like, maturing is realizing that Baron Zemo is the only one who won in this
Oh, yeah.
movie. That gave me a chuckle. But anyway, all right. Now we can talk about some news.
There we go. So,
More than I thought, because I'll be honest, dude, like 2 days ago, there was nothing.
yeah. And like honestly, some of my stuff, it's nothing major, but I'm like,
Mhm.
well, what the hell? Might as well just say something. I'll start with this little fun little nugget. Godzilla Minus One, which is, our movie of the year last year. It's gonna get, it's getting the sequel, and of course the sequel's gonna get a bigger budget. The last movie got around 15 million is what the article I read saw. I've heard the director say, I wish we had that much money at one point. So it's hard saying how much they actually had to work with, but gonna get a much bigger budget, which should make it really good. We'll see
Yeah.
though. They could rely too much and it could be really bad, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope that he wasn't like a one-hit wonder with that
Yeah.
movie. Um, I'll do a comic thing. So I guess Wolverine has been quite the hit for Marvel Comics because in May we're getting a Hell Hulk. I don't know if that's the official title, but they're doing with, to Hulk what they did with Wolverine. So I don't know if that's exciting, but it's happening.
I'll for
We're
sure
just gonna
expect,
get a Hellverse. You know what I
dude.
mean?
Yeah, we're gonna get that, and it's gonna be Hellverse versus Venomverse versus Spider-Verse.
No, it totally, I really do think they're like, we've done three fucking Venom verses. We can't do any more Spider-Verse. We got to do something new, and this is the new thing.
Yep. Do you have any clue on who's writing it? Is it Benjamin Percy?
I don't know. I
All
didn't
right.
see. If it is, does that make it better?
Yeah, I mean it's still stupid, but Wolverine's pretty stupid too. So like, I mean it's exact you get exactly what you expect. So it's a book called Wolverine. Or this one's gonna be called Helk.
Helk,
Yeah.
yes, I love it.
So now you liked Eccleston's Doctor, right? I
Yeah,
so I could never could get into it personally.
really, I thought you were a fan.
No, I tried like when it first came back, I was like, Dad always watched this. I watched some Tom Baker with Dad as a kid. I'll give this a watch. I'm like, I'm not into this guy. And so then one random day, I then was flipping through, and then David Tennant's was on. I'm like, okay, this guy speaks to me because he's like, it was the episode with the rhinos where he's like, "Hobo cho no bobo," and I'm like, I'm in, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
But Rose Tyler and Eccleston's Doctor are coming back for an audio drama to celebrate 20 years of New Who. It's going to be 12 new episodes, all
that's fun.
audio, but it should be pretty cool. I've never listened to the audio dramas, but I hear they're pretty nice because it's like they get people that also do like the old doctors too. So like you can get if you're like a big fan of like the third Doctor, they'll have they have specific things just for him now too and all that stuff, which I'm like that's pretty neat. You see stories or you hear stories that you wouldn't normally get to see like with the doctors interacting and stuff that
Hmm.
we just can't really do on a BBC budget. Like the budget's getting better, but you
Yeah,
know, so might be neat,
it is neat. I wouldn't be opposed to an audio drama. The thing is, I would just need to remember that it's a thing.
right? And I'm curious where they post it, like if it would be on Spotify or
Hmm.
if it's like a BBC only thing or whatever,
Right. Like a BritBox exclusive.
right?
Okay, we're also getting a new Emma Frost series that's coming out, I think this summer, like June. There's not been a creative team announced. Um, I just know that there's like some really high profile cover artists doing variant covers because of course
Yeah.
there is, right? So
Uh,
should be pretty cool. I'm sure it's just gonna be uh probably a 5 issue series, but some of the cover artists include Greg Land, Joel Jones, Joshua Swaby, Mike Henderson, and Ricky Yagawa. So should be pretty cool. And I also one of my favorite cover artists, Lyrics, is doing a cover too that I've seen, and it's gorgeous. So I'll at least be getting that for myself.
yeah, you gonna actually read it? Or are you just gonna
No,
have the cover?
I
Okay.
don't know jack shit about Emma Frost, dude, outside
Fair
of her
enough.
powers.
Yeah. All right. So I'll talk about my two comic book news next. So Farmhand, Rob Guillory, he announced that Farmhand's final arc is starting in May. I forgot that there was even a hiatus. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. I'm excited because I like that book a lot. But yeah, I'm like, it's been like 3 years, I think.
A very long time.
Yeah, so, you know, I hope they do a catch up thing.
Yeah, yeah, he probably will, right?
Yeah, he's smart enough. He should know to do that. It's Marvel and DC that don't understand to do that.
Yeah, or Ultra Mega.
Right. All right. And then Godzilla Here There Be Aliens is coming in May also. It's the
Hmm.
finale of the Here There Be trilogy. Uh
Hmm.
it
Don't
looks
know
like it
about that one.
yeah, it looks like it's gonna be set in like Cold War era. Like the one of the covers, it's got the alien out in the thing and the guy in a farmhouse with a shotgun. Like I'm assuming it'd
Uh,
be like, oh, destroy all humans. Remember that game?
yeah, of course.
It'd be like in that era is what I'm assuming, but I didn't actually see for sure, anything like that. But
Yeah,
same creative team.
I probably won't read it if I'm honest. I just did not love that second series like I
Damn.
wanted to.
You're just like, nah, not gonna finish the trilogy. You're that guy that was reading Lord of the Rings was like, Two Towers? No thank you. No thank you, Return of the King.
Yeah, that's a terrible analogy for me
I
personally.
know, I know.
But come on, man. You know that second one wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't. And honestly, the first one's still not that great, but it's
True.
fine. And I have a
But
feeling this one's gonna be fine.
pirates, you got me.
Yeah,
Aliens, I can pass on.
fair enough.
My last two things kind of go together. They're about Diamond. Do you want to say that for last, or does it
Yeah, go
matter?
ahead. So we got new details on the Clayface movie. If it's gonna follow a B-movie actor who injects himself with a substance to stay relevant, but it reshaped his face. It's going to be a $40 million budget. Mike Flanagan is unable to direct, but he is, they still are using his script.
I think that movie has potential. Just
It
depends on
does.
what they do with it.
It's just fucking stupid, but it has potential.
Yeah.
It's like that early DCU shit where they're like, "Sure, we'll make this movie." It's like, "But why?" He has a script. It's like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, look, James Gunn, I'll write a script, brother. If
Yeah.
you want a movie, holla, I'm ready. Demon
Oh,
Knights movie.
dude, so someone just speaking of movies that will never happen, someone online posted a good like casting that I'm like, I'm here for it. Andy Serkis, okay? Detective Chimp.
Perfect.
Yeah, right. I mean, he probably hates the idea, but
I can't think of a better casting than that. I'm being genuine.
he's like, God damn, I don't want to play another fucking monkey.
This is a perfect time for me to insert our clip of you going,
Monkeys. Oh man, so I had that theory about monkey movies were gonna be a big thing.
yeah.
And then they made that movie about that singer where he's a fucking monkey instead, and it like lost insane. Like it made
An
like $10,
insane
and it lost like a
amounts.
$100 million. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, fucking ruined my theory. Shitty
Dude,
monkey movie.
Better Man? Is that what it was?
Yes, that's it. Yep.
So apparently that guy's big in the UK, right? I
Yeah.
legitimately had never fucking heard of this guy. Not
Nope.
once.
No, I was so confused because his name's like Rob Williams. So I'm like, this is a movie about Robin Williams, the genie?
Or or Rob Williams, the DC Comics writer.
Yeah. It's like that. Those would make more sense.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, he's a monkey? When was there a monkey doing stadium shows?
The thing is, I've seen plenty of people online that are like, look, I've watched the movie. It's a fine movie. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
who was this for? And why did whatever major company, Paramount or whatever, buy the rights for so
Oh
much?
no. Like, good on him for hopefully making just a fucking mint from that. But,
Hmm.
oh man, that was just stupid.
Yeah.
It's because they listen to this podcast and they're like, well, I have it under good,
Good
good
authority.
advice
Yeah.
that monkey movies are the future. And Rob Williams was like, sure, make me a monkey. I don't care. He's counting his cash.
How many millions, he says? Oh man, well they're never gonna listen to this podcast
I know.
again,
It
man.
sucks.
Okay. My last bit of news is about Diamond, um, and a couple other things pertaining to Diamond, but where's the list? Where's the list? Oh man. I'm gonna have to like look it up real quick. One thing is that okay, it's 2020. DC announces they're leaving Diamond. Okay,
Hmm.
a company called UCS, which is ran by Midtown Comics, and Lunar are splitting the country in half to distribute DC Comics. Very soon after that, everything is switched to Lunar. Lunar does all DC. Apparently, UCS is coming back
Okay.
because, and I didn't realize this was a thing until recently, but apparently some small distributors that want to use Lunar are not getting a phone call back.
Oh shit.
Uh, and so UCS is going to return and distribute some of these smaller companies. I don't know who. I don't know how small we're going or who we're talking about, but that's the thing that's happening.
Okay.
Um, and then let's see here. I gotta find. that thing about Diamond real quick.
So if UCS started doing like, I know it's not going to happen because it sounds like they're going to be, like you said, like very small stuff. If they started picking up Marvel somehow and they were going to do it in your area, would you try to go through them instead of Penguin Random House?
Yes, absolutely, I
Okay.
would. Assuming their invoicing was, similar.
Different. Yeah.
Okay, here it is. So, and we actually, I don't know if I should say that. Never mind.
Okay.
So anyway, the auction for Diamond's assets is coming up. Um, and that's happening next month in March in New York City. Um, but the things there are 12 major properties from Diamond that are going up for auction. The big one being Diamond Comic Distributors. We'll see if they get bought out by somebody. We've got Diamond Book Distributors. Dude, no, I do not want any part of that. Alliance Game Distributors. They do. I don't know what board games and card games they put out. They do RPGs, miniatures, all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff.
I know they do because I think that Chew game that I got was from Diamond. I
Okay.
think. Or no, it's from IDW. I think it was IDW. Never mind. I think I lied. Which is weird
Well,
because it
I
was
mean,
Image.
Alliance could still distribute it though.
Oh, okay.
There's also the CGA, the Collectible Grading Authority. Um, they do like vintage and modern toys, video games, and so other collectibles. Fandom World Division, that's like an e-commerce platform for collectible merchandise. This one's crazy. Free Comic Book Day. That's you know, the website, everything associated with Free Comic Book Day being up for sale.
Damn.
Um, Diamond Select Toys and Collectibles. And the Diamond Select toys weren't great, but it's still like a bit of a nostalgia thing for me where it's kind of
Mhm.
a bummer to see, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, Diamond Select would be like the also like the Godzilla statue and Rodan statue you got me that I got up here, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Those
yeah.
are sweet as hell. They also had a
Hmm.
King Ghidorah one that I wanted to buy from them at C2E2, but they're like, actually, this is just for you to look at and then put an order in 4 months from now. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I mean, I've got some of the figures. They did cool Marvel figures for a long time. Um, this one is apparently a big one that I wasn't super familiar with, but Gentle Giant Limited, they do collectible toys and statues for Disney and Marvel. Then we've got Iron Guard supplies. That's card binders, displays, bags and boards, other comic supplies. Comic Exporter Inc., which is like a Diamond UK thing for comics and collectibles. Comic Holdings Inc., um, also like a part owner of Diamond UK, and then just straight up Diamond UK. So I'd heard a while back that Diamond UK like already Diamond UK Alliance and something else already had like a buyer, so maybe they're
Hmm.
just going to show up at this auction and be like, "That's ours now."
Yeah.
Either way, I think this is all still kind of crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
100%. And just so you guys know, even though Jake has said no, if you guys buy a bunch of stuff from Super 7 using our code and we get enough money, we will buy Diamond.
Yeah, you know,
So get to
just
buying.
just buy a few $1 million worth of stuff
Yeah.
if we can buy
Probably be in the billions if we're being honest, because like we only get like 5%.
it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, fuck, then Super 7 could buy them.
Yeah. Super Seven's gonna like they're gonna be getting the two worlds bump. They're like, oh God, what do we do?
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy to me that, Diamond was all of these things and now they could potentially just be split up 12 different ways. Who knows?
Now, that toy grading thing, genuine question. Have you ever used anything with them or seen anything with them before? Like, how do they, like, because it's like a toy. You can't fucking slap a toy. Like, how do they do that with the grading?
You kind of can though,
Is it like
because
the box, like the video games
yeah,
get? Okay.
yeah, I think it's like how the video games get, because they do like evaluation, authentication, and then grading service.
I
So
gotcha.
yeah, again, I don't know for sure. I've never
Yeah.
dealt with it. And honestly, I don't think I've ever seen like a one of those video game boxes but for a toy. But that I feel like it's got to be a thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, so if I ever get, which is like not really a grail because I never played with it, but Mike's talked about it before. So I don't know if you remember him talking about it, but that
Hmm.
Godzilla with the where his fist shoots off, you know?
Yeah,
And I have like the Super 7. If I ever got one of those, I would take it in to get graded like that. Cause like that'd be the only way because they're so darn expensive.
sure. No, I get it. The those two World War II era Wonder Woman comics I got that one time.
Hmm.
I was like, I have to get these graded. It's the
Yeah,
it's the only way to keep them nice. So
100%.
anyway, we'll see what happens next month with all that. I I wish it were sooner, dude, because
Hmm.
boy, I'm ready for stuff to get better.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of like toys and stuff really quick, I'll just talk about this because I think you might think it's neat. Dad showed me this auction and I should have gone to it, but I'm like, I don't want to leave my maniac fucking dog by herself in my house, stealing my fucking dishes again. So I
You make her sound like a leprechaun.
like she is the best dog when it's me and her. Like we're just hanging out on the couch. I leave. Like the other day I went to the gym. I set up like a blockade, keeping her out of the dining room and the kitchen. I come home, it's knocked over a little bit. I'm like, she just hit it. There's no way she could sneak past. She's got a big old belly, just like me. And so then I'm like, whatever. So I don't really think about it. I give her some scratchies and I'm like watching TV with her. It gets to lunch dinner time. I walk in to feed her. There's plates on the ground, a pan on the ground. I'm like, and she's just like, sorry. It's like, what the hell? But they had, so I don't know if you know, because I don't know much about it either, but it's the same company, like the Mattel Shogun Warrior Godzilla. They made giant robots too.
Oh, okay.
And those are like 500, like 300 to $700. And they were at this auction still with the box.
Oh
And I'm like,
man.
and it's like I've never been to this auction house, so I don't know if they get fucking nerds or if it's like old farmers that are like, why are they paying so much for toys? So I'm like, this could be a crapshoot, you know? But I was like, it'd be so cool to get those because like there's a toy shop in Mount Zion. I'm like, and they have that Shogun Godzilla. I'm like, it'd be so fucking cool just to trade him one of those for
Yeah,
that, and
dude.
then be like, here we go, this is perfect. But I was just like,
Ugh.
"Ah." And it was also like over by Clinton. Dad said it was like east of Clinton, this auction house, and I'm like, doing that, maybe not even getting it, and having to come home and pick up my dishes off the ground. Speaking of shit, I have a air fryer with the trays,
Mhm.
inside instead of the basket, and my third tray has been missing. I don't know where it is. Hallie took it. It's just gone. I've looked all over. The
Check her
little
poop.
it's a metal tray about this big.
Dude, from what you've told me though.
Fair enough. She's a little maniac.
That's so funny. I love a good Hallie Dishes
Yeah.
story.
I hate them. Oh, I'm gonna show
Well,
you my mom and dad's puppy really quick. I'll show it on here
please
because
do.
she was smiling today. It fucking killed me.
Dude, it's just an awkward photo. She's not ready for it. That is so funny. Please send that to me.
I will. Because yeah,
Ah.
she's the cutest, aren't like the just the cutest thing. But my God, that was like I'm like I just was playing with her, I was scratching her. Like what in the world, dude?
Just a little underbite, just a
Yeah.
little one.
And it's not like Mary. Mary has that just like about 24/7. And she just will randomly do it. I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh man, I love that. All right, on to comic reviews. Casey did not get his
Yeah.
comics this week.
Yeah, it pissed me off that my USPS's delivery was like, it's coming in Saturday, buddy. And I'm like, sweet. And then it didn't. And I was like, oh, it should be in Monday then, because that's usually how it when it tells me a day. Some days it's like just the next day, you know?
Mhm.
And then I was like, oh shit, it's President's Day.
Dude, that's so frustrating because I actually got books earlier in the day than I normally would have.
Yeah.
And so mail was able to pick it up that day.
I
So
think part of me thinks it's something indicators. Because like they get the package and they say it should be today, like I'm saying, like should be today. So I think it's something in the Decatur area that's causing the issue.
yeah. Well, I've heard that about St. Louis too. So I think
Yeah,
it's just kind of the mail in general.
yeah.
But anyway,
Could be
th-
worse. It could be UPS though. Or
yeah,
no,
I
wait,
mean,
FedEx is the one
yeah, FedEx is the
yeah,
bad one.
that's also like way more expensive.
Yeah. Thankfully, UPS is cool.
Yeah.
It's just the worst part, and again, I'm sorry if I've complained about this on the show already. If I knew stuff was going to come in late, I used to be able to just have it held at the facility and go pick it up before open.
Hmm.
They closed that facility.
So where
Just
is it?
and like there is not one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just their warehouse for drivers only.
Yeah.
I heard uh that they just locked the doors one day, like didn't even tell the employees. They're just like, you're all done.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway. Okay, I read Magic #2, Aquaman #2, Green Lantern Corps #1, Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu #5, The Moon is Following Us #6, Batman and Robin 18, DC versus Vampires World War V Darkness and Light one shot, Marvel Mutts one shot, and Batman Dark Patterns #3.
Quite
So
the list this week.
yeah, I read a lot. I'll start with Batman Dark Patterns #3. And after my little burp there, it is by Philip Kennedy Johnson or no, it's not. It's by Dan Waters and Hayden Sherman. I was looking at my cover of Batman and Robin while saying that. Anyway, it is the finale of, you know, We Are the Wounded or whatever it's called. So I liked it. I thought the ending was probably the best issue, honestly, because it's like Batman putting everything together and then, the climax of who he has to fight and all that shit. So it was very good. I liked it. I think the art is just so fitting. We've said it before. It reads like a 90s Vertigo book, which I love. And it wrapped up well, and I'm looking forward to the next arc. Also, I will say this one little thing that's not a spoiler, but he's like listening to the radio to figure out where he needs to go next. And one of the things is in Burnside, a young couple have reported a man looking in the window of their sixth floor apartment using eyes on his hands. I'm like, Dan Waters is teasing the 10-eyed man.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to show up in this, but it's like, well, that's his villain. I like
Hmm.
that. I like that he's still mentioning him. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
It makes me think of Ghostbusters too. I think it was Ghostbusters where they're like, yeah, someone keeps complaining about someone staring in their window. It's like, okay. It's like they're on the 10th floor. And they're like, oh, it's like
Right. It is like that for sure. It's probably a nod to both of those things.
Yeah.
All right. Then we've got, oh, I'll give that probably like an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Then we've got Marvel Mutts. It's by Mackenzie Cadenhead and Takeshi Miyazawa. But it's mostly about, well, I'll show you the cover.
Oh,
It's all
nice.
all the Marvel pooches and
Yeah.
then pretty Ms. Marvel heavy. Most of it is silent. It's very much, I know I read it after the fact, so I didn't talk about it on the podcast, but they did one for Marvel Cats like over the
Okay.
summer. It was actually really good.
Nice.
Um, and it's like almost completely silent. It's just, what the cats and the dogs are up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, Miss Marvel gets a dog from the shelter, and then it's just how the dog gets on with the other Marvel mutts like Lockjaw and Bats, Cosmo, Lucky, and this dog's name is Mittens. So anyway, art's really good. It's just a collection of short stories that are adorable.
Mm-hmm.
So, not much to it, but I'm still gonna give it an 8. It was just wholesome,
Nice.
wholesome stuff.
I love bats.
Yeah, I love Bats too. And
Ooh.
Lucky.
How about you be Lockjaw at C2E2 and I'll be bats?
How are you gonna cosplay a ghost dog?
I'm gonna paint myself the ghost colors, put little ears on, and put a collar on, let you walk me around.
I don't think that'll be super weird for that
Yeah, I
convention
know. I think
either.
they'll be like, oh hey, nice bats costume, man. You even got the neutered part right. It's like, yeah, I've been in a relationship for 7 years. I get it, guys.
All right, moving on. We've got DC versus Vampires World War v. Darkness and Light. And this is by Matthew Rosenberg, along with Nicholas Ismezija, who I'm a big fan of from the Azrael miniseries. And also, the second series had art by Daniel Bayliss. So, the first one is all about vampire Wonder Woman deciding that she is going to take in and turn Harper Row into a vampire. Um, it's actually so well written. It's so well written because Harper didn't want any of this, and like her brother is just taken to like where they keep humans alive for like blood farming and stuff. And so she goes to visit him one day, and he is just like starved to death. He's dead. So she just like tries to kill herself by letting the sun, like the shades, she just leave the shades open and bursts into flames, and Wonder Woman runs in and like puts her out. She's like, "No, you're my daughter. Like, what are you doing? You could have died." So anyway, at the end of the story, I'm spoiling this hardcore, but Harper decides that she's going to embrace being a vampire and she's all healed from her sun travesty. And she runs into Guy Gardner, and Guy kills her. Um, and Wonder Woman just rips him in half. She's like so mad. She straight up just
Mhm.
tears him in half.
Damn.
Yeah, very brutal. And Wonder Woman is very sad. And the second story is all about Alfred, who's now a Green Lantern. And he runs into this kid, and this kid's like, "You need some help. You're a terrible hero." So he takes him to this cave out in the wilderness, and it's Guy. And Guy is like, he had to learn what organs did, and then he uses his lantern to make organs and stuff to keep him going, which is kind of
That's
crazy.
that's pretty crazy cool. Like that makes me think of oh, what was that Star Wars game where the dude got cut in half and like his whole thing was like he was so full of hate that kept him alive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah.
yeah. Was it
Um,
Like because it had like Kyle Kartan in it, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of who
Yeah.
it is. Preston's probably like
Oh
screaming
yeah.
the answer at this point. But anyway, Guy trains him to like be a lantern, which is pretty cool. And then at the end, Wonder Woman comes back and she is like, I thought I killed you for killing Harper. So there's a big fight. And then at the end, a guy fakes his death to kind of give that final oomph to Alfred, who flies off. And then the kid's like, do you think it worked, Mr. Gardner? It's like, well, that man is either about to get himself killed or save the world. It'll be fun to see which. And that's how it ends. But for just a fucking one shot, dude, it was so good.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Probably pick of the week.
Nice. It'd be hilarious if this is how they bring Alfred back.
Oh, dude, I would love that so much.
It's just like, yeah, it's like, well, I mean, you were just complaining about how many Green Lanterns we got. It's like, yeah, well, you get one more and it's Alfred.
Yeah, but Alfred gets a free pass.
Yeah.
All right, Batman and Robin 18. This one is by Philip Kennedy Johnson, with art by Javi Fernandez and Miguel Mendonca on the art. And this one's cool. Uh, you know, Bruce is teaming up with Red Hood in this, so I was afraid it was going to be super edgy and like full of daddy issues, and it is a little bit, but I think it's handled really well because Philip Kennedy Johnson is a very good writer.
Hmm.
And the other half of the book is Damien teaming up with, that detective lady that was in Bruce's past. And we get some revelations about what's his name, Memento. And it was really good, man. It was really, really good stuff. I think Johnson is just knocking this book out of the park. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9. Looking forward to hearing how you feel about it too.
Yeah. It should be good. That's been one of the better Bat books out right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think for me it's gotta be the best one, unless I'm just
Yeah.
forgetting one. So
Well, I said one of the best because, yeah, I probably am forgetting one because there's too damn many of them.
all right, then we've got The Moon is Following Us #6 by Daniel Warren Johnson and Riley Rossmo. This is, I think, easily the best issue. The stuff with the nightmare people that showed up at the end of the last one is just so cool in this. And one of the characters I think is just so fun and likable. Uh, I just liked it a lot. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. With this one, you're either reading it or you're not, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that last issue, it was one of the things where like I read that and I Hate Fairyland around the same time. Like it was like one right after the other. And like they both did tropes that I just fucking love. Where like, I explained how like, oh, the heroes showed up last minute to help Gert, and like this one is just like, come with us if you want to live, basically. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm so pumped.
Yep, exactly. All right, then next we got Magic #2 by Ashley Allen and German Peralta. It's a lot of fun. They go to they're trying to just learn about the seals and stuff like that. They're in Japan and they end up going to this concert where they hear a bunch of disappearances are happening, and one of the demons is in the band. So Magic has to, fight the demon that's playing this evil guitar, which sounds corny, but it's a good time. She lets the Dark Child out, who just wrecks this demon shit. And at the end, she gets sucked into this portal to, I assume, hell, where the main demon that's trying to escape is. He's like, my name is Liminal, and you and I are gonna, usher in a glorious new era, and that's to be continued. So my guess is he's gonna try to get Dark Child out permanently to, help set him free. But
Yeah.
it was a good time. I like this book. I was really worried whenever that Blood Hunt one came out, but so far so good. So Gonna give it, I guess, probably another 8. No reason not to.
Nice, man.
Okay. Aquaman number 2. I picked up the Tula Lotte Mara variant because it's
Oh,
just
nice.
really pretty.
Like, of course you did.
I have a type.
Fish
It's
women.
yeah, yeah, fish women. It's by Jeremy Adams and John Timms. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Good.
He goes through that Omega portal and then he comes out in this place and tangles with this witch called Jenny Greenteeth. The art is insane in this, all the plant life and shit that's being drawn. Uh, Minor spoiler, Arthur learns that there's water in blood, so he kind of does a blood bending thing from Avatar, which
Nice.
is pretty cool. And a character I did not expect showed up in this. I don't know if you remember the thing is the 80s series he had, but Arion, the King of Atlantis.
No.
Okay.
Maybe I would know him if I saw him, but can't
Yeah,
place him.
well, he was like a prisoner of this green teeth lady. So I was like, holy shit, talk about a callback. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about it. It was just super cool, and Jeremy Adams is making Aquaman just a total badass.
Nice.
All right, next up, Green Lantern Corps number 1. I got the Nathan Zerdy uh, variant cover featuring our gal.
Nice.
Yep.
It's weird that they have Kyle with her though, because I don't see them together that much. Do you think it should be Simon?
Yeah, you would think so. Um, but I don't know. Maybe Zerdy doesn't really know much, and he was just
Fair
like,
enough.
here's another lantern.
These are my favorites. They're the coolest looking.
Yeah, yeah, which is totally fair. But anyway, it's by Morgan Hampton and Jeremy Adams writing with Fernando Pasarin on the art. But it's cool. The the core is back together along with Sinestro. Sinestro is part of the core. And John's like, I don't trust him, but they wanted him on the team, so I'm just going to keep a close eye on him. So they have to go to um, Tamaran to help with an issue that's going on there. And Sinestro kind of handles that situation. And I think he does a really great job. Like, Sinestro's so cool.
He really
And
is.
Jeremy Adams knows how to write him. So yeah, that happens, and then they go back to base, and Jessica's like, "Oh, hey, John, the Thanagarians have sent a royal envoy, and they mentioned you by name to help with this." And John's like, "Thanagar, please don't say who I think it is." And I was gonna say it, Casey. It's Shaira.
Nice.
Yeah, but you know where I stand on Shaira right now, and I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
she should be in the JSA book, but fine, let's see what happens here.
Well, maybe she's just like, hey, honey, I have very important detail, like very important work to do in Thanagar. He's like, okay, we'll get the other bird girl. She's like, perfect. Bye bye.
Yeah, we'll see. I know that they were a thing, and maybe Jeremy is gonna, play into that.
Yeah.
Obviously, he is because John's like, please don't let it be her, and then it's
Yeah.
her. But it's just like, man, we should be past that.
Hmm.
She's with Carter, except she's not with Carter.
Right.
Um, but she looks fucking cool. The art's really good, and the character design for Shaira is just some of the coolest Hawk armor I've seen. So anyway, it was a solid first issue. Not to keep repeating, but it's an 8 for me.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot going on, but it's still
Yeah.
good.
Did you ever read the issue of Green Lantern? Jeff Johns wrote it, where Sinestro, just speaking of like Sinestro being cool, he took back over the Sinestro Corps because Mongol was the leader of it for like a hot minute.
Mm-mm.
Like he wrecks them because like since he created the rings, he like has a fail safe in them, and they just all just do their thing and just like mess them up, and he tosses them in the power battery.
That's awesome.
It was pretty dope.
Yeah, he I haven't read a lot with Sinestro, but the stuff that I've read of him from Jeremy Adams, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah. It's like that's another one of those characters like we were mentioning, like where like art like writers really get it. Like Jeff Johns did a lot of good for Sinestro, like to the point where I'm like, you're giving him a little bit too much credit in my opinion, but whatever.
Yeah, he's still cool.
Yeah.
All right. And then my final book is Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu #5. And it's by Jed McKay with art by Dev Malia Promnick. And in this issue, Mark goes to, fight what's his name? I forget. I don't even know what his name is, but the drug dealer guy that set him
Mhm.
up. And, meanwhile, like Soldier and Hunter's Moon are out doing like doctor stuff, which is pretty cool. Like Hunter's Moon is uh just giving care to people that can't afford it. Very, very much like a daredevil thing to do, right?
Hmm.
Like that's the kind of feel that I got. And then uh Tigra and Reese are talking through some of Tigra's issues about being mad that Mark didn't tell her that her ex was still alive. So a lot going on, but it's well handled. And then we find out at the end, like Mark's just beating the shit out of this guy. And the other two personalities are like, put him down for good. Like, let's end this shit. And then he stands up and he's like, all right, I just wanted you to feel like you were gonna win. Now it's my turn. And he's basically like, I told you that I was just a regular old farm boy, but I didn't tell you where my farm was. It was on Asgard. Turns
Oh,
out this
damn.
guy's an Asgardian. And then he just beats the fucking shit out of Mark. And it ends on a to be continued with him standing over Mark. So I'm like, oh shit. Did not see that coming.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty
it was
cool.
it was pretty cool. I was all about it. So yeah, this one is also gonna be a 9.5. Very, very good stuff.
Nice. So what are you excited for, man?
Talk about a list of new releases this week. There's a shit ton of stuff coming out. Um, this one's probably on your list too, man. I'm sorry, but Zatanna. I think
Hmm.
that's, by Jamal Campbell. It's gonna be super cool. Um, and then, New Gods and Challengers. Like those are just the books that I'm loving right now.
Hmm. Yeah. For me, I'm gonna go with G.I. Joe, Godzilla Heist. We'll see how that is. And then I'll go with, oh, I saw one that I was like, oh, that would be good. Um, oh, X Factor.
Okay.
So I might go with that. Even though that is, I think, a crossover one, so I might not go with that. 'Cause I think that is
Yeah,
that
I'm
the
not I'm not sure. I know the
yeah,
X-Men was this week, so I didn't send
yeah,
that to you, but I don't know about this one.
yeah. That crossover stuff just gets fucking old. Uh,
Hmm.
all right, so I was just thinking a while back about just dumb things in comic book media. So it can be something from movies, shows, even comics themselves, anything that you're just like, boy, howdy, this was stupid. So, and you can go however you want with it. If you want to be like casting whoever as the voice actor for this character, or if you just want to
Hmm.
be like, oh, that time Ma and Pa Kent had sex in that one comic, whatever.
Okay, the first one I'm going with is the MCU in this whole multiverse era. I think it's just it leads to lazy writing,
Hmm.
and it bugs me. You were just talking about, a little bit ago how forgettable and boring, the new Cap was, and I feel like the same could be said for most Marvel stuff lately.
Yeah.
And I think it all kind of started after, Endgame, and then they entered this multiverse thing. They don't care about story. They just want fucking cameos. And
They
it's
want
bad.
spectacle, more
Yep.
than anything.
Yeah. Um, the other one, this is like, I still hold a grudge about this, but it's when Marvel canceled Earth's Mightiest Heroes so that they could do the MCU version of that cartoon or of
Hmm.
those characters, and it sucked.
Hmm.
Uh, they ruined the best animated thing they'd ever come up with. So I still haven't forgiven them for that. Um, Not to keep harking on Marvel, but a comics thing. This was like a year or two ago. Amazing Spider-Man was coming out 3 times a month from their top talent. And it was, you know, I'm not going to shit on the writers. They're obviously names
Hmm.
but that was just such a dumb idea.
Yep.
Nobody liked it. Nobody liked the story. Nobody liked paying $3.99 3 times a month for the one title. Everything about that was just stupid. And then finally, because I was trying to think of a DC one, Superman breaking Zod's neck. I hated that part in that movie. It's like if
Yeah.
he can break Zod's neck, he can just move his head away from that family. I
Yeah.
I hated that. So there you go. That's my four.
Yeah. So for me, mine. I'm gonna start with Man of Steel. There was a lot that I disliked about that movie. The breaking the neck, like the more I think about that, I can like kind of make argue. I can see the argument for it. I still don't like it, but because it's like, well, even after he stops him, Zod's still saying, "I'm gonna kill all humans." Blah blah blah. It's like, well, okay, it's still not very Superman-y, but whatever. And then, but when Clark saves those kids on the bus, and then like Pa Kent's like, Superman's like, what was I supposed to do, Dad? And he's like, could have just let them fucking drown.
Yeah.
Just like, how did you why did you write this? This is terrible. And like, but then like right after that scene, it had like a really great scene where, he shows Clark the ship, and Clark's like, I'm not your son. He's like, you'll always be my son, and they hug, and it's like, okay,
Hmm.
now so you get the character. What are you doing with the let the people drown? I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, so yeah, like Spider-Man is another one that was on my list, and that's gonna be like this is like a layup because they've done so much stupid shit with Spider-Man. But the One Moment in Time, and then the one more day, and then One Moment in Time, both of those because they're like, oh yeah, he sold his marriage to the devil to save his aunt. After we had this whole arc of him talking to, like, literally talking to God, God telling him it's gonna get better. God's like, don't worry, man. Your your supermodel marriage will be over, and you can keep your old aunt. I've seen the picture. So stupid. And then they're like, this was stupid. We'll do omit to fix it. And it's just like Doctor Strange did it instead. Ugh. It was dumb. And like that's one of those like universal dumb ones too, where no one's like no one ever like, oh, this is a good thing that they did,
Yeah.
you know? And then I'm just gonna say, and this is gonna go against one of your things today, but all of the stuff DC Comics is doing, where they're like DC versus zombies, DC versus vampires, DC versus this. We want to see the characters you love die, and like, 90s kid Casey, like, oh yeah, Batman dies. This is the best. But now, old man Casey, this is like, I just want a little bit of hope. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm gonna say just Captain America's on the mind, so I'm gonna go with the new Captain America movie, making it a sequel to the Incredible Hulk and the Eternals. I didn't see Captain America versus uh, Captain America and Winter Soldier, but not a lot to go by. They don't even really mention too much from it, so it's like that's weird. It also took 5 years to come out from that, not giving Falcon the fucking super soldier serum because like, no, you're just a human. That's the way it needs to be. It's like, no, he's throwing the fucking shield around. That's gonna pop his arm out of socket. Like this has
Hmm.
been established that this is too much for a regular person. They're like, nah, it's fine. He's got wings. Um, yeah, and then the constant reshoots of the movie, just not trusting your directors or your CGI people. Like Marvel's just a fucking mess. But they're still making tons of money, so like why would they listen to us?
Yep, I agree. All right. Well, plenty to complain about. We can
Yeah.
always complain about something.
Yep. Let us know down below what you want to complain about. And if it's us, we don't want to hear it.
Yeah, take that shit somewhere else.
Yeah, we're gonna block you if you talk bad about us.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next week with another one. And we'd love to stay and chat, but Casey has to turn me into a vampire, and then I need to get obliterated by Guy Gardner. So we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, you
See ya.
do. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Worlds Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod, on Twitter at two_worlds_PC, and on Facebook at facebook.com/twoworldspodcast. You can email us with any questions or comments at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com, and if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.